So now the link, this is what should be happening. So the link in the invite, if we click on that, what we should be seeing is starting soon.
Okay, correct.
That's good. Okay, so I think that I think we're fine. So one.
Just our audio is filtering through, FYI, on that starting soon.
Gotcha. Okay, so we probably should be. Okay. We're fine. So, okay. Yep, we are. Okay. So, all right. I'm going to message you guys in Slack, okay? And I'm just going to mute my thing here.
All right, hey folks, can everyone hear me? Bob, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear them. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first of our Q&A series. So we're launching a Q&A series in order to kind of, idea is on a regular basis, get into some of the weeds, let's say, if there are any particular issues that are kind of bugging people, if you've got any questions to ask, this is open to everyone. So for our first session, and perhaps we're a bit crazy to run this right in the middle of Prime Day, but we've got it up. We're going to spend the time. We're doing long hours here this week. It's been a lot of fun. Prime Day Power Moves is the title of our presentation. So we're going to run through a few quick setup ideas. We're going to talk through some strategies and then open it up to questions. That's going to be the main point of today. So an important piece that's coming from Bogdan is on the backup of your campaigns. And appreciate we're in the middle of the Prime week right now, but there's still some good use for doing this and how to get that restored, because as you'll see, one of the biggest things is not to lose the momentum or lose the benefit that you've got from your uplift in sales during the Prime week. So my name's Dominic, Senior Amazon Strategist here at ScaledOn, and we've got Bogdan, the Amazon Manager, as well. Just want to talk very quickly about ScaledOn. We work with clients and have built effectively businesses that hit 7- and 8-figure sales. We are all entrepreneurs at heart, and that's one of the interesting things about ScaledOn is you'll find that everyone here is either an e-commerce business owner, partner. We all know what it means to give good advice and what the impact of having bad advice is. So definitely think we are a team that you can trust. We do consider ourselves top 2% digital e-commerce experts dedicated to scaling businesses. So what is Prime Day? We think it is a test of discipline. So we all know during Prime Day, ad systems do get really strained, and what you'll see in the console may not reflect reality. This is typical of Amazon. In any working day or any working week, you will see glitches. And of course, I'm sure everyone knows, don't rely on reporting from the last 24, 48 hours, in some cases longer in terms of attribution, but particularly on Prime Day. And we've seen this today, even with graphs that may be disappearing, graphs that are showing things that don't seem particularly reliable at all. And that's why you will need to rely on stores of historical data as well. CPCs really surge, so we know that budgets can burn faster than expected. Campaigns hit caps very quickly, so that's one reason why you need to be kind of on the controls during a day like Prime Day or a week like this week. And it is important, I think, to mention that the impact of any of those other levers which you're used to checking, any kind of bad input can kill momentum during a week like this. And as we all know, the importance is that there's no reset button. We've got to wait for the next run around. Although one thing that we will say in terms of the length of the Prime Day event this week, there are some learnings that we can grab from day 1, day 2 that can impact things as we move forward. So yeah, it's all about staying in the weeds, keeping an eye on the details, things that you should be watching right now. Budgets burning faster than expected, your account cap, your individual campaign budgets, those CPCs spiking without the return, but just be careful because CPC reporting can be very misleading on a day like today. That's where you want to be going back to your 7-day, 10-day, 30-day windows. Definitely campaign stalling or under delivering. Like I say, in terms of reporting side, ad types going dark and key ASINs missing from search. So keeping on top of your performance notifications, keeping on top of your price discounts, and making sure that you are keeping an eye on everything that's going on. Relying on those budget tools, so using the budget tool tab to stop the underperformers. Don't kill your top search if it's working. Shifting budget, not just cutting, pulling back from what's bloated, which is important, not just from what's profitable. So just want to pass over to Bogdan on the backup importance of.
Okay, thanks, Don, for sharing that valuable information. Before I start sharing my screen and guide you a bit on how to use bulk sheets, I would like to ask all of our attendees where are they dialing in from. So if you can post in the chat here in YouTube, let's see where do we have people from.
And probably one thing worth mentioning on this particular event is where this is our first time streaming through YouTube, so really open to feedback in terms of what people find in terms of the platform, and whether there are other options. We really want to make this regular event that people can really collaborate in. So keen to hear that and see how this goes. Awesome. We've got Athens, Greece, North Carolina, Maine. Brilliant.
Okay, so just give me a second here to pull the right tab. Okay, so first of all, I want to explain a bit why bulk sheets are very useful. And like Dom said, I know we are just in the middle of Prime Day, so we usually do this for all of our clients before big events like this. And the reason why we want to use bulk sheets, first of all, is because they act as a backup method to everything that you have worked on in terms of campaigns, targeting, bid adjustments, and actual bids set at the keyword level. Why is it important to have this full backup? If you're not using any AI management tool or automation for your campaigns, especially this year, it will be very helpful because, as you all already know, Prime Day this year will be a 4-day event compared to a 2-day event that we have previously. So we can take all the learnings from the first 2 days and apply and optimize campaigns on the go for the next 2 days that we have left of the event. Be very careful, like Dominic said, attribution window and delays can show now during Prime Day. So what I would advise would be to look at your total sales that are reported in Seller Central when it comes to revenue, and look just at the ad spend. We are assuming that these two metrics are the most accurate metrics. If we look at ACoS, there may be sales that are not attributed, and you may be in the risk of pausing a campaign that had good performance, but the sales haven't been yet attributed, and you won't see the results and an updated ACoS in the ads console. So in order to pull like a bulk sheet for the backup, it's very simple. You just need to go to the advertising console. I'm using just one of our test demo accounts here. So if you go to bulk operations, this is where we can download the bulk sheet. What I would suggest on the date range to go with the last 30 days and make sure we have all these presetted options selected. And you just need to go to create spreadsheet for download. It can take up to 15 minutes to create the spreadsheet, so it's available for download. I already have one saved here, so I'll be switching now to my Excel bulk sheet. Okay, so this is how the sheet looks the first time when you open it. It may seem a bit overwhelming at first, but it's super easy once you get used to it, especially for this use as a simple backup. So first of all, we have different tabs here: sponsor product campaigns, sponsor brand campaigns, sponsor brand campaigns with multiple ad groups, and sponsor display campaigns. These are the 4 tabs that we are going to use when we are going to upload it as a backup. But here we have a lot of valuable information, and there are some learning courses regarding working with the bulk sheets for ads. You'll have the search term report, and by applying filters here based on your KPIs, you can easily find keywords that are bleeding, your budget and you're not getting conversions. So applying just a simple filter here, you can, first of all, let's adjust a bit the size of the column so we can see all the information. So for example, if we go, I don't know, to, let's say, impressions. If you filter for campaigns that do not have impressions or have impressions less than 100 impressions per day, that means that you'll probably need to double check if you are bidding competitively, if you're not getting impressions. And all the other metrics that are available in Ads Console, we can find them here. For example, ACOS, what is your target ACOS? If you have a campaign that's running at a higher ACOS, it's very easy to put a filter here and select just the campaigns with high ACOS. But let's go back to the backup option. So what I usually do here, I just focus on these 4 tabs. It's super simple. All you need to do after Prime Day is over, just grab your backup file that I assumed that you either saved it before Prime Day, or you can do a backup right now, because what happens during Prime Day, you are in the Prime Day rush, you may adjust bids, you may play around with the placement adjustments, and while testing, you may not take notes of everything that you changed. And these changes that apply during Prime Day may not give you the best performance once Prime Day is over. So this is why it's very useful to have this backup, because we can play around with the ads, adjust them based on the first days of performance during Prime Day. And after Prime Day is over, we just upload this bulk file and everything will be restored to the previous values. If we look at the first row, for example, here under entity, we have campaigns, bid adjustments, ad groups, product ads. So everything that you can set or change in the Ads Console. I don't want to go into details because probably it will take us a couple of hours to run through every field here. In order to use it as a backup is as simple as going to the Operations tab, click the drop box, and set it to update. I copy this value. You can either drag and drop it until the end of the list, but it's pretty long. So I'm just going to use my keyboard, select everything, paste as an update. And we need to do this for each of the four tabs. You can see here, for example, if I try to select the Dropbox does not show here, it sometimes happens. Maybe it has something to do with my Excel, but I just go to the previous tab, copy one cell, paste it here, and now I can even drag and drop because this list is shorter. Okay, after we completed this for all four tabs, copying it again. Okay. I have to copy it every time. I'm not sure why, but let's do it. So all previous information now is set to update. All we need to do now is save the file and use this file to upload it in the Ads Console. That's everything you need to do. Everything will be set back to previous values. So let's take this first line as an example, bid adjustment. Let's see if it had any adjustment. No, so placement was set to 0%. But for example, if you look at the second row, it was 21%. So all these values will be automatically filled with this bulk file, feeded in the Ads Console, and you have everything restored. Make sure when saving the files, name the file names correctly. First one will be the backup. Then if you can or want to play around, you can even use this bulk file to adjust bids, adjust templates. This usually applies to sellers that have either multiple campaigns, multiple SKUs that are being advertised. When it's a bit complicated to navigate and apply changes in the Ads Console manually, these bulk sheets, once you get the hold of them, it will make your life a lot easier to apply this kind of optimizations and check the data that Amazon provides you. I'll just stop the screen share for a second here, and I'm just going to go back to the Ads console to show you exactly where you need to upload. Same tab where we previously downloaded the bulk sheet. We just need to go here, choose file, select the right Excel file, and upload it. Everything will be restored. Okay, any questions here? Let me know if you have any questions regarding bulk sheets. If not, we can move forward to the actual Q&A session. So please post all of your questions in the YouTube chat and we'll try to answer them one by one.
Brilliant. And so we've seen this after, post Prime Day, and you can even see this week, the difference in performance from day to day. It's one of the quickest way to revert to pre-Prime Day, and then from there begin making your changes. Because as Bogdan said, it can get so chaotic with updates happening. It's very unlikely you're able to capture every single change that you've made on the account, especially during a 4-day window like this year's.
Okay, so I see a question here from Saint Argo. What is the minimum discount you are recommending for your clients to run during Prime Day? This it depends a lot on your margins and what promotions do you want to run. So you have different type of promotions. Coupons, for example, is one of them, but what we usually recommend across clients is to use the price discount and selecting the actual event tab and selecting the Prime Day event in that tab. The reason why we recommend this is if you're going with plain price discounts, manually discounting the price of your product, and you are not doing an actual price discount and selecting the event, you won't get the event badge, which helps increase conversion rate during events like Prime Day, Black Friday, or Cyber Monday. You all notice that on the product detail pages, there is a badge that's specific to each event. That badge can be obtained only if you have this price discount set correctly by selecting the actual event. Going back to the minimum discount, of course, for price discounts during events like this, the minimum recommended discount for your deal to show on the product detail page is 20%. Based on experience, buyers are usually hunting for deals that are at least 30 to 35% discounted. But of course, you need to pair this information with your overall strategy and especially with your business stage. If you are in a launch process, if you already have a well-established presence on Amazon, it all depends, and you need to take into consideration more factors in order to decide what will be the best discount percentage to run. Hope this answers your question. If there is any follow-up, please let me know.
One thing I'd say on the price discounts as well is just to keep checking those, because I'm sure you'll notice from when you've set those up, you'll see at certain times eligible status changing. So just want to keep an eye on throughout the event as well. Make sure that everything is running as expected.
Okay, so another thing about sales drop after Prime Day and search volumes. Dom, do you want to cover that one?
Yeah, so undoubtedly, you'll notice this year, for example, seems, despite reports in the media. That does seem to be a lot of traffic on Amazon at the moment, and for a lot of clients, a very successful day one. And day two so far has been somewhat reduced, still seemingly higher than last year in a lot of cases. But absolutely, I mean, this is something that we saw in the run-up to Prime Day, right? As Amazon's advising people to sort of increase CPCs and get ready, we're seeing a huge dip in impressions. In fact, from sort of probably 2nd or 3rd of July forward. So we will expect something very similar, and that is why the reverting your settings back very quickly to a low session environment is what you should be doing post Prime Day.
Thanks, Tom, for answer. We'll wait a couple more moments and see if any other attendees have questions. Don't be shy, post them here in the chat.
And just to reiterate, I think there was a small technical issue. If some people aren't able to access the chat going off your mobile or going off your cell phone device, that's going to should work a bit better.
Okay, assuming that our followers are still getting used to our voices and faces, so hopefully in our next live Q&A session, you will have your questions ready, prepped in advance, and feel free to drop them in the chat.
Yeah, we may change the format of this. Really want it to be super collaborative so that people can make it as easy as possible for people to ask questions and get, like I said earlier in the call, into the weeds of things. And question from Jessica there. Been on Amazon for 10 years and do not take advantage of Prime Days, but need help learning how to. So is there a best place to start? I think we need to send over a link to our Prime Day playbook. Definitely a good resource.
Yes, definitely. We have a Prime Day playbook, and we also have a checklist that every seller should run through prior to Prime Day. So Jessica, feel free to reach back to us offline, waiting for your email, and Dominic here will make sure he can forward you that playbook, or even jump on a short 15-minute discovery call, and he can tell you his findings. And
we do.
Congrats for being on Amazon on 10 years. I love to see sellers being on for that long. So congratulations.
And it's really interesting. We're working on accounts, and some of our own accounts where we have tested years without Prime Day, different mixes, different product mixes, different discounts, different promotions. But without a doubt, it is a strong lever for a lot of businesses to get involved on Prime Day. And so I appreciate there's definitely some hesitation because it is a risk, right? In terms of when you run those promotions, and especially the idea of it kind of turning into a runaway promotion. But there's a lot of things that you can do to make sure that it's a controlled push.
Yes, and one thing worth mentioning here, there's nothing like one size fits all here when it comes to Amazon, and especially to Prime Day playbooks. So as we like to call it here at ScaledOn, testing is our superpower. So only if you test different type of promotions, different percentage discounts, this is how you can learn what's better working for your account, because we may see accounts that have huge promotions running and they do not pay off. So it depends on the niche, on the category, on the competition, which we all know that's constantly growing on Amazon. So first of all, you'll need to test, and this is why I was happy to see, Jessica, that you have 10 years experience, so probably you are already very familiarized with the Amazon platform. So just a test.
And there's been a big change, I suppose, to the promotional landscape on Amazon this year, right? Big change to coupons, which is definitely impacting those mid-volume sellers. There's just a lot of moving parts, so it can get complex.
Which, by the way, if you are not sure on how much you are paying right now for setting deals or setting coupons, since those fees changed, make sure you visit our ScaledOn.com website, and there we have an Amazon fee calculator that you can use, and you can estimate based on the percentage discount and the number of units sold. You can estimate your fees for either best deals, prime deals, or coupons. So take use of that.
Awesome, guys. One thing to mention as well is on email, more than happy to answer any questions that come in. If you've got something that's a little bit more complex, maybe it doesn't fit in the YouTube chat box, we are Amazon geeks, so we spend our days on the platform for a number of years. We're kind of obsessed with it, so more than happy to tackle a problem.
Okay, sounds good. I don't see any other questions popping up here, so I think we can wrap it up and leave the sellers to keep an eye on what's remaining out of the Prime Day. So good luck and happy to see you next time. Thank you for joining and have a happy Prime week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Dom.